Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my live quilting chat, Tipsy Tuesday. Hi everybody, thanks for being with us, whether you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you say hi in the comments and state your name and where you're tuning in from. Of course, the more you comment throughout our show, the better chances you have to possibly win our prize, which is a $25 gift card up for grabs for one live viewer, randomly chosen by your comments, and then we always have a question at the end. So while you're at it, make sure you follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And this one is very important because even though you're used to watching on Facebook, we really want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel because there may be chances that Facebook is out or we won't be able to go live on Facebook, but YouTube is always the alternative. So make sure you subscribe and click on that bell button, notification button, so you're always notified when we go live. So that is all we need to do. And then, of course, thumbs up and hearts. Did you show him the hearts? Say hello to Mr. HP. He's, of course, behind the scenes, running the show. Tonight, we'll be talking more about our upcoming Phoenix Quilt-Along. There he is. Phoenix Quilt-Along coming up on November 6th. And I'll be also shedding some light on the mysterious Scant 1/4 inch seam tonight. And, of course, I have some gorgeous fabrics to show you. But another chance to win, of course, at the end of the show, we have a giveaway question. And all you have to do is answer that question when we're finished. And you get a chance to win another $25 gift card. And so that winner will be announced, randomly drawn from your answers, and announced next week during our Tipsy show. So our last week's winner, I asked you a question. Have you ever seen an erupting volcano? And our winner is Sylvia Strak. Okay, I probably butchered this, Sylvia. I so apologize. But her answer was Mount St. Helens was smoking, so she has seen it live. Congratulations. $25 gift card is yours. Just send us a quick email to help@gequiltdesigns.com, and we will get you that gift card electronically so you can get shopping right away. All right, I hope everybody had a great weekend. We surely did. We took a little bit of a trip to Portland, Oregon, to visit the little nugget, my 2-year-old grandson, Johan, and his family, of course. He celebrated his birthday on Saturday, and he's such a big boy, and we had an amazing, amazing weekend. Here are some photos from our visit. We had a birthday party, so this is him with his balloons. Wonderful weather, too. Nice and cool in Portland, but sunny skies. We went mushroom hunting, went on a hike, and he was adamant about holding the field guide for the mushrooms and was so into it, looking at it all. And it was just beautiful hiking, as it always is in the Pacific Northwest. Just gorgeous. Beautiful day again. And yeah, Papa was getting in on, Johan was showing you something on the map there. Yeah. I don't see a mushroom anywhere, but he was having all kinds of opinions, and it was just really fun. We feel energized, especially when he get home and get a phone call last night. That first thing he did when he came home from daycare was to run into our room, and he couldn't find us. He was like, "Where are they? Where is Papa and Amma?" So that was beautiful.
Mainly Papa. Mainly Papa.
Mainly Papa. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, you are a favorite. We gave him a guitar, little mini guitar for his birthday, among other things. And that was a favorite. As soon as he strummed it, he was like dancing. And so you tried to tune it. It was a little tough, right?
A little tough to tune that.
But he made you play it and sing. Yeah. You had some special songs?
We had a jam. He got on his kazoo and we
got a little jam session. That was fun. It was really great. So, yes, we are energized after that weekend. All right, so a little update on what's happening at the GE warehouse. Wanted to tell you a little update on our shipping. We're already seeing some shipping delays, so just so you know, things are going to get really hectic when it gets closer to the holidays. So just be aware and be extra patient. It's everywhere. All of our carriers are experiencing delays. They are understaffed and overworked, so we have to just give them a little bit of grace, and of course, just be a little patient. Now, if you are shipping something and you click on your tracking, if you see it, it is moving, but maybe a little bit slower. Just wait a minute. If you see any issues, if it's not tracking or anything, always contact us. But you really don't need to contact us if you see it is moving, and because really all the information that we could give you is exactly what you get. We just get the tracking. But as soon as you see any issues, and also we've been getting, you know, people will get a delivery notice that your package has been delivered. Maybe wait a few hours or even until the next day, because sometimes they are clicking or, you know, scanning their packages as they're going out to deliver them when they're not really delivered. So sometimes we just have to give them a little time to get around to things. So it's everywhere. It's every single business. So just know that. But I wanted to tell you too and give you a little heads up that we will be raising our flat rate shipping prices on November 1st. There have been now 3 raises where our cost has been raised, and I have still kept our cost at the same. So unfortunately now we have to raise them just a little bit to match this now upcoming. Well, there has already been a hike, and there may be even more as we get closer to the holidays. So this one won't be much, maybe $1. Maybe it depends. It'd be a little more with Express, FedEx, and then less with the USPS priority, but still there's going to be a little bit of a hike. And the reason why we do that is because I don't want to build the shipping price into our product prices. We still want to offer great product prices and great value, so all of our costs is up front. All right, just wanted to let you know, so November 1st is that date. I wanted to show you that our 2 new patterns that we released a couple of weeks ago are now in print. They were delivered today, so we are bagging them up. They're already on the website. Those of you that want it, always want printed patterns. And just to show you how I do printed patterns, I would print on 1 piece of paper so you don't lose a page. So the Saga is on 1 whole sheet, so it's all on 1 sheet, full color. The June is a bit larger because it's more instruction, so it's all on 1 sheet so you don't ever lose a page. So that is there, and those of you that wanted printed versions, that is now available on the website. And also, if you are a quilt shop owner, they're available to order. They're going off to our distributors tomorrow if you purchase through distributors. So that is exciting. Always fun to see them in real life and you get to hold them like that for me. The Saga pattern, of course, is a 10-inch square pattern. The June pattern is what I call a stripology mixer, because you can mix 2 different pre-cuts using either 10-inch squares and 2.5-inch strips. But of course, you can always use fat quarters. And of course, we did our June quilt along in last summer. So lots of videos on that one as well. All right, so Fast and Furious Club. It is time for our October project to go live at midnight. Yes, early morning on the 20th. Of course, we always kind of go by Central Time. Welcome, Witches Welcome will be live in your account. If you are a subscriber, if you are just purchasing individual projects, will be able to buy the Witches Welcome pattern and video class bundle together in the morning, early morning. So there it is. It goes together quickly, and you'll have so much fun making this. So always remember to read through your patterns first, watch the video first before you start, or at least bits of it. It's always good. So go ahead and check on that in the morning. I'm excited to see some Witches Welcome wall hangings because I've got some opportunities to personalize them. You can add words or add all kinds of things. The bats can be in different places. You can add more bats and all that. I wanted to mention that we still have a few kits left, very few kits left for the exact fabrics that I used in my wall hanging. So snatch them up if you don't have the fabrics yet. And of course, all of our kits for Fast and Furious Club include the backing. All right, so I wanted to talk about something because I get so many questions about when I talk about in my books and patterns to use a scant 1/4 inch seam. And some folks just haven't maybe heard this, or a scant 1/4 inch seam just thinks, people think that that's so much less than a full 1/4 inch seam. And I think there's a little bit of a confusion about that it's a certain measurement. So I wanted to just talk about that a little bit because, and then some folks say, why would I use scant 1/4 inch seam here when I'm not using it in piecing other patterns? Well, actually, you should be using a scant 1/4 inch seam throughout whenever you're piecing anything, because what that is really is just a hair less than a 1/4, which allows your fabric to fold over, because as you press and fold, there's always a few threads, a few tiny little measurements that it takes for that fabric to fold over. And this goes by either if you're pressing to one side and open. There's always that little thing that will take up about, they say about 1/32nd of an inch. Yes, and that's not a lot. It's not a lot. However, if you have a block that has a lot of seams and every single seam is, a 1/16 because you got 2 pieces of fabric, well, it can become a 1/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch real quick. And then there's the other thing, it all depends on how good your pressing is too, because if your pressing is maybe not as flat as it could be, then there's more thread taken in on that. So how do you get your best 1/4 inch seam? So everybody thinks that you can just take your 1/4 inch foot and do a little bit less, just sew a little bit less in, or adjust just by your 1/4 inch foot. That's not really the thing, because 1/4 inch feet are not all created equal. If you take all these 1/4 inch feet, or even some machines just have a 1/4 inch setting, they're all going to come out different if you really measure the distance from the needle to the edge of the foot. And then there's also those 1/4 inch feet that have a flange, which means that you can put your fabric up against it. They can be a little tricky too, because sometimes you can be pushing the fabric too hard up against it, and then you're doing a wider seam than you want. And that's the same thing as if you have some kind of a guide. Just be really careful with those too. So what is the best way to figure out if you are doing it right? If you're doing a great 1/4 inch seam, and the only way is to just test it. So take a couple of strips. This is how I test it. Take a couple of strips. I cut 2 1.5 inch strips. You can cut 3 if you want to do more. So if you have 2 1.5 inch strips, you sew them together with your best scant 1/4 inch seam. You press it the way you normally press. So if you always press to one side, press to one side. If you always press your seams open, press them open. And then what you want to do, let's look at the overhead, is take your piece once it's nicely pressed. 2 1.5 inch strips, once they're sewn, are supposed to measure 2.5, because they would be 1 inch finished each one. So that's 1 and 2 inches, and then we add the seam allowance, so that's 2.5. So then just measure the width of your block, and it should be 2.5 inches. So if you are a scant less or a scant over, a little bit less or over, then you can adjust where your needle is. Sometimes it's best to just take your needle over either way if you're using a foot, and if you can take your needle over. It's not really possible for all machines. Another good way, we sell these perfect piecing seam guides by Perkins Dry Goods. This is just a seam guide. It has a whole in here, which you can put your needle through and then set it down, and this is exactly a scant 1/4 inch seam. So when you put your needle in here, you put your foot down, this is where you should be aligning your fabric with. So you can see if your foot is wider or if it's less, and you can set a little marking on your machine. I've used my arrow stickers if I'm on a different machine, because sometimes when I've been teaching, I've had to use different machines. And so this is always in my travel bag. This is a good way to get an idea, but still, even if you're using any kind of seam guide, always check it. Just check it and measure. So I wanted to talk about this because we're going